Okay, I want you to picture an AI that doesn't just know a bunch of stuff, but actually knows where it learned it. Today, we're diving into a new tool that's really shaking up how we think about AI in education. We're talking about an AI that does its homework.
So, think about this for a second. What if you had an AI research assistant that completely ignored the wild, chaotic, and sometimes wrong parts of the internet? What if it only used the sources you personally selected and trusted? Your textbooks, your articles, your own notes. That simple but really powerful idea is exactly what we're going to unpack.
And the answer to that question is a tool called Notebook LM. The magic word here is source-grounded. All that means is the AI builds its entire brain only from the documents you feed it. It's not trying to be a generalist who knows a little about everything. It becomes a specialist in your material.
And this is where you see the huge difference. Most chatbots we use are kind of like a black box, right? They pull answers from the entire internet, and good luck figuring out exactly where that info came from. Notebook LM, on the other hand, is like a glass box. Every single answer it gives you is directly traceable back to your documents with a nice, clean citation.
This isn't just some small new feature. It's a fundamental change in how these things work. By giving you a citation for every single claim, Notebook LM is directly taking on that black box problem. It's bringing some much-needed transparency and, frankly, academic honesty to AI.
So that's the big idea. But how does this actually work in a classroom? Well, let's start by looking at it from the teacher's point of view. For educators, Notebook LM is basically a superpowered content creation engine.
And what's the biggest win for teachers? It's time. We all know how much time they spend creating materials. This tool can automate a lot of that, which frees them up to do what they do best, actually working with students, leading discussions, and giving that crucial one-on-one feedback.
And the process is so straightforward. First, a teacher just uploads all their course materials. We're talking readings, lecture notes, even links to videos. Then, with just a few clicks, they can ask the AI to generate all sorts of learning aids. And finally, they can share that entire interactive notebook with the whole class. Easy as that.
And we're not just talking about boring, simple summaries here. Oh no. Teachers can generate detailed study guides, pop quizzes, vocabulary lists, timelines of historical events, even audio summaries for students who learn better by listening. The versatility is just incredible.
Okay, so that's the teacher's side. Now, let's flip the coin and see what this looks like for students. For them, Notebook LM becomes this powerful, collaborative research hub.
Really, this is all about empowerment. Students get to become independent researchers, but they're doing it in a safe, curated space. They don't have to worry about the distractions or the misinformation of the open internet. It lets them ask big questions and explore connections with a ton of confidence.
So this is where students can really get their hands dirty with the material. They can ask really complex questions and then, boom, instantly check the AI's answer with one click on the citation. For group projects, this is a game changer. They can create a shared notebook and even ask the AI to find connections between all their different sources. Plus, they can make their own study aids, like flashcards and mind maps. Of course, with a tool this powerful, you have to use it responsibly. This isn't about finding shortcuts to get out of work, it's about making the learning process better. So, what are the rules of engagement for students?
This is the #1 rule, the core idea. The AI is a partner, not a replacement for your brain. It's there to do the heavy lifting, sorting through information, so that students can focus on the really important stuff. Critical thinking, asking tough questions, and putting ideas together in new ways.
So here are 4 key practices to really make this work. First, always check the source. That little citation number is your best friend. Click it, read the original text, and make sure you really get the context. Second, ask deeper questions. Don't just take a summary and walk away. Use it as a starting point to ask more challenging questions, like, okay, but why did that happen? Third, be specific. Instead of just saying summarize this, ask for something targeted, like create a timeline of the key events in Chapter 3. And finally, use it to collaborate. Make the notebook a shared brain for your group project, a central hub where you can all pull your resources and build on each other's ideas.
So when you put it all together, what does this mean for the classroom of the future? Well, tools like Notebook LM aren't just a small upgrade. They represent a really fundamental shift in how we approach teaching and learning.
It really is a win-win. On one hand, it gives teachers back their most precious resource, time. And on the other, it empowers students to become more curious, more engaged, and more independent researchers.
And this whole thing leaves us with a huge question for the future of education. If an AI can give you a perfect audio summary of a really complex text in seconds, what does that mean for the skill of reading comprehension? Does that skill just fade away? Or does it evolve into something new, something more like critical listening and super-fast fact-checking? That's a question that classrooms all over the world are going to be figuring out very, very soon. Thanks for tuning in.